Hey guys, today I wanted to take another look at Meve and give the good old engine, pretty powerful Meve deck a go that a lot of people have played already with, reasonable success. I believe it was Shinmiri who first pioneered this style of Meve deck, and my list is pretty damn similar to the one he was running, if not identical. I actually can't remember if I net decked exactly or not, but uh, yeah, Shinmiri originally came up with this idea, and the idea for the deck is to play a ton of engines, overwhelm your opponent with the amount that you're playing. I'm sure you understand how it works. I've brought it up on the Scuffed Meta Snapshot as well, and I think most people consider Meve to be, and this version of Meve to be, one of the more stronger Northern Realms archetypes, one of the stronger decks for that faction, and potentially being a contender, when compared to other factions in that regard. But yeah, today I wanted to give it a go myself, show the deck off to anyone who hasn't seen it yet, of course, and work out whether it is really all that or if it's just a bit too vulnerable to a lot of removal, or whatever. With that being said, let's jump into the card choices. What's going on? Should be pretty straightforward. As we said, the idea of the deck is, of course, to just overwhelm your opponent with engines, which is why pretty much the entire bronze core, a large amount of the golds as well, are engine-based. They're all cards that get value if they are not removed. So if you just pack so many of them that, eventually one or two stick on the board, you do get quite a bit of value from them. And of course, it uses the Hubert Rake finisher, which is pretty unique. When I first saw this, I loved it, quite a while ago, but when I first saw it, I found that very, very cool, not using Hubert in an adder deck, but instead relying on order effects from things like Okvist, Synthesis, Yennefer, etc. to get the value from Hubert. I found that to be very cool, and it does work out in a lot of matchups. Some matchups not, where they're able to remove all of your engines. It does happen against some stuff. Maybe Scoia'tael and some Nilfgaard decks can do that to you, but otherwise, very, very powerful. There's also the Dragon package, with Synthesis, Okvist, and Murkdebracker to enable Ike to thrive and get those big unit kills. I was playing Northern Realms a few days ago, and I found Ike to be dead a lot of the time. But when he's good, he's really, really good. When he's bad, yeah, maybe not the end of the world, but it can be a bit of a problem. Either way, we also have Tridem, Caedwenny, Sergeant synergy. We have Corvo as well to help, and Anna to get the buffs, and the Neke as well, all to work there. We have Avalak to hopefully immunize one of the engines, and maybe even Corvo, Visagoto, get him rolling. Can be a powerhouse in those long rounds, of course. And we've got the finishers of the dragons, which are going to be paired up with Sabrina to kind of nuke a row, and of course Hubert to get a ton of points on the board. Vincent's also nice to deal with those big units. I think this deck has a pretty good matchup against monsters, because they're not usually packing that much removal, and you should be able to just outpower them with engines in a long round, and that very, very strong finisher that this deck has. Otherwise, we've got Scythemen. Some decks are using more than one. Some decks are maybe even cutting them nowadays. I have one in. I have one Revenant, but you could probably even put two Revenants in and mix and match and do some stuff with the bronzes. I don't think they're set in stone. We're just packing as many engines as possible, and maybe a little bit of value there as well. What else haven't we touched on? Vess, of course, very good. Botchling, of course, and Siltkirk, all pretty powerful in their own rights. Two very strong engines, and Zeal for your dragons and whatnot. Very, very good. And yeah, of course, Meve is allowing you to buff your 3-point engines a lot of the time to 4, make them harder to remove, buff your 5s to 6s maybe, buff your 4s to 5s, etc. So she's there to protect the engines. That was what a lot of people predicted her ability would be doing, and it works very well in that department. It also works to give you a bit of Scytheman value, Tridem value, etc. Anna, all the rest of it. Don't know if this deck is a little bit outdated at this point. It very well might be, but I'm still gonna, give it a swing, see how good it is, see if we can win a game or two. Let's jump into it. Alright, we're going to be up against Mr. Kraken Crate. I don't have my love border yet. I'm not sure how to get that. I know you had to sign in on the 14th, but maybe I do have it, and I just haven't equipped it, who knows. Anyway, what are we mulliganing here? I don't think Scytheman's very good. Get rid of that bronze. And Trident might be okay. It might not do too badly here. We could also get rid of Lyrian Cavalry, or even Kedweni Knight. I'm kind of not a huge fan of Lyrian Cavalry is fine. Maybe Trident can go. Get another Trident anyway. Fine. Gonna be a Harold. Harold. Did I say Harold? I don't know. Whatever. Haven't seen Harold played too much these days. Seems like Crack is just the way to go typically. But whatever. Let's start with the good old Trident. I think we can play him on back row. That's fine. Get that Meve value. And maybe we'll go with the Neke next. Or something like that. Maybe Vess as well onto Longship to kill it. Could be quite powerful. Giving Zeal to one of our dragons potentially. Or Neke even. Actually, I like that line of play a lot. I think we'll go for that. Let's do it. Kill the boat. And if that Vest survives, we're going to get a really crisp Neke onto Trident for a lot of value. Should be very powerful. We'll see if the opponent has an answer. The problem with Harold is it makes it a lot harder to get Bloodthirst if you're not running that crack leader, right? Yes, you have maybe a really good finisher in Dagger, but if you can't get to the round 3 with that finisher, or without last say for the finisher, then it can be a bit awkward. But we'll see. It's going to be a problem for us potentially. We don't really have an easy way to deal with it, even with last say, because Ike won't have Zeal. He won't be able to be used to kill it necessarily. Let's just get our good old Trident value now. Very, very strong. It might get removed, but that's okay, I think. Just cleaning up, getting a bit of value. Could have played the Cavalry earlier, I suppose. That might have been a wise decision, but I'm also not even sure I want to play it this round. We might just choose to instead tempo out. Or we can drop it when, you know, the opponent, you know, gives us a chance to do that. Doesn't allow us to get ahead on even, whatever. For now, I just want to make sure we get some nice value from all the cards. That's going to be a bear. Coming down a bit late, not able to remove the Vess. Good for us. So I think we can play the Cavalry now. Kind of a bad bronze in this deck. I mean, it's not bad because you have a lot of orders, but compared to the other cards, it's not that great. Gonna just get removed, unfortunately. We can now probably Revenant. And then Meve to protect it from another Pirate Captain. And this guy will probably win us the round if we're able to keep playing. I'll have to go ahead and drop a 5 if that does happen. But okay, seems like the opponent has quite a few points. Let's just pass here. I don't think we'll be able to easily get the value that we need to win the round. And I'd like to hold on to all the gold engines. Now that we've seen a bit of removal from him, we might be able to sneak these past. Particularly the Corvo would be lovely. I guess the problem is Harold can always remove Corvo plus Avalak if he goes for that, which is a bit annoying. I think we can get rid of maybe nothing. This sounds kind of fine. We'll be able to drop the Cavalry immediately and play the Arbalest next round. We can always mulligan it as well, I suppose. We have a lot of golds in the deck, so it might be worth it. But we've got, you know, a large number of engines right now. If we can get Corvo to stare, you know, Vizako to... I'm sorry I call him Corvo always. I know that's not his name, but it's just easier to say, I find. If we can get him to stick around, we'll be looking pretty good. Let's get rid of Scytheman. And honestly, I don't mind keeping the Arbalest. It's not a bad card. We probably want the Hubert, though, if we can find that. Don't necessarily need it. But it would have been nice, I suppose. But look at the amount of engines we have. Surely some of these are going to stick around and get us a lot of value. That's the hope anyway. I think we can start with Botchling. It won't die to a Marauder, and then if he does go for that Marauder play, then we can flip it and regain all the HP on it. We could have gone with Avalak as well, but I want to get some bodies on the board before I go for Avalak Corvo, because then makes it less likely that he can snipe it with Harold. If we go with it immediately, he might just be able to take it out with that leader ability, which wouldn't be ideal. Unfortunately, I don't really have any... Oh, Avalak. That's kind of scary. I think we definitely need to remove that. That being said, I don't have a way to deal really big damage to a tool unit right now, which is a bit annoying. But let's kill this with the Vincent plus Spotchling. And we'll buff Vincent as well, to make sure we get our value from the leader. Yeah, a little bit scary. We can't remove, you know, a dagger or whatever, but he doesn't know that, so the opponent's probably not going to play around it, or rather, they will play around the cards that we don't have. There's stuff like Ike or whatever. They might play around Hubert as well, which can work in our favor since we don't have either of them in hand. Can be very nice. And hopefully Avalak will survive. It's quite hard to deal 5 damage with Harold. That being said, they'll be able to do it with the Longship, I suppose, so we should probably avoid playing the Avalak right now and maybe just play a different card. Either the Yennefer or the Selkirk. I think Selkirk's a nice one to throw out. Quite like it. If he gets removed, we lose something like 5 points, which is quite bad, but at the same time, I feel like the engine value from Yennefer might be worth more than that. Potentially not, but who knows. Now I think Anna is a good shout to get down on the board. We can start rolling with that engine. We do want to get the Corvo out as soon as possible. We're going to lose a lot of value on these engines if we're not able to play them soon, which is not ideal. But I wanted to avoid Avalak getting killed, because if that happens, we're in big trouble. Ooh, gonna go for the dagger immediately. That's gonna pay off for him big time, because we don't have a removal in hand, unfortunately. Bit of a risky play though. I mean, very risky, I guess. If you're not worried about Ike, which he isn't, then you do get rewarded though, unfortunately. But we'll see. Potentially the Corvo can, you know, save the day here. We'll see. We will see. It might be able to also activate Anna again, depending on what happens here.
Let us put our steel to the test.
That's going to be a Marauder. Does very well for him as well, killing our Anna, unfortunately, and giving him some more dagger value. Ah, if only we had Ike, guys. If we had Ike, I think this game would be pretty much over. We would definitely be winning, but unfortunately not the case. We're just going to have to make it, you know, on our own, I suppose. Just a bit of a shame, but oh well. We've got some engine value. He does as well, which is probably going to be enough for him to just win, I think, unfortunately, but yeah. We have a Yennefer that can come down now. It's just a bit late in the day, really, to be doing much, I think. Even if we can buff it. Damn, if we had Ike, I think we were winning every time. That's really annoying. The opponent's got a bit greedy there, but hasn't been punished for it. Or even with Hubert, we might have been looking good. Could have done a lot of damage. Either way, I mean, it's not over yet. We do have Okvist, which is quite powerful. We've got the Yennefer, but the problem is that dagger is going to tank all of the shots, so it won't really get us too much value now. Either way, we can still use it, of course. We can play the Merc de Braca, we can buff it up, keep it alive. And we can try to win. We can try to win. Looks pretty dire at this point though. 20-point Ike would have been beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And no Hubert as well. Hubert could have also been game winning, I think. I think the draws just weren't in our favour here. One problem with this is it doesn't have very much thinning at all, which means you maybe don't end up getting the cards you really want for that round 3. I probably should have mulliganed in round 2 as well. Ended up not doing that, which probably ended up not being good for us. It's going to be a professional time maybe, or an Okvist. Okay. I actually can't kill that. How awkward is that? Very, very not good. And I have too many orders. I can't even... Oh dear. I can't even get the value from the synthesis. This is just over, guys. Whatever. I'm out. Let's find another game and see if it will go better than that one. Alright, we're back. And it's Ada.
What is it I fancy today?
What is it you fancy today? So, hand is looking a little bit more promising than last game. We can probably get rid of Scytheman again. And we can hold on to Tridem if we want. I don't see a problem with that. Using that round 1 could be quite good. We don't want to use all of our good cards in round 1, of course. That'll make round 3 a lot weaker. Having last say I think will be pretty important to make sure our Hubert's looking healthy and the opponent's isn't. So we'll maybe think about committing Yennefer, botchling this round, something like that. Maybe Anna and Tridem as well, to get the value from those. I think we'll play on the ranged row. Maybe Trebuchet's a bit too much of a threat to do that, actually. So front row might be better.
This will be quick and painful.
This will be quick and painful. Oh god. Let's throw that yen down. I think I'm happy to boost it, just to give it a bit more survivability. Probably won't die anyway. I think there's not much that will kill her apart from the adder. But we'll see. She's very threatening at stuff like witches. He's going to have to, of course, play units much higher than that 3 strength. And Anna is one way to do that. Unfortunately, we don't have a way to punish that right now, but we can drop the botchling and start getting to work on Anna, try to kill her off. Or at least damage her down so that she's no longer an issue. We've got our own adder, which will come out next turn probably, and then we can get Tridem on the board. Get that nice synergy going, possibly. And we can even flip the botchling to boost adder even more. I think we might do that. We will see. It's a bit awkward when you're playing so many orders that don't have, you know, that aren't immediately doing anything. It can be a bit unoptimal, I suppose. Got to make sure you don't brick like we did last game. It was maybe not good. Some nice boosting going on, and Tridem will also get the boost from Lubbokin, which is pretty good. So not too far behind at the moment. So Synthesis is a bit of an issue. Gonna be able to get a lot of value from that as the opponent, but whatever, we'll go with that Tridem now. If we lose this round, I'm not sure it's the end of the world, as long as the opponent plays, you know, a fair amount of powerful cards. So Synthesis is one of those, as is Aguara in this matchup. And I'm just going to be shooting our Anna down. Makes sense. Be able to hopefully buff her back up if she survives this onslaught, which may or may not be the case. Gonna be just a Revenant now. So I'm pretty happy to commit Merc to backer actually. It's going to be able to get us some nice amount of points. And do we boost the Tridem or do we boost the Anna? I think we boost the Anna. We go for the long term play, I suppose you could call it. Rather than boosting Tridem. Maybe, it's fine. Got some hidden points here, 4, which can also shut off the Anna, and the opponent will probably want to use their Revenant this turn, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, we do have Hubert in hand, which is nice. We would like to see maybe Ike. Yeah, that would probably be good. But either way, I guess this is a pretty okay pass to the opponent as well, because they're getting quite a lot of points from Anna. In fact, we probably lose. I want to say we don't. You know, we might be in trouble if that happens. But okay, just going to be a Vincent. I think at this point we probably have to get out of the round. It's just a bit too much value for us to contest. Especially with Anna going off every turn. So we got bullied out of that round. Let's see if we can get to round 3. Honestly, having first say in round 3 is quite nice in this matchup, because you can often get your engine down before the opponent can really react. You know. Tridem, we can mulligan. We're probably going to play this on the pass anyway, though, so more happy to mulligan Vincent and look for other goals that we'd want. Vess, Selkirk, and Ike are really key, and potentially Sabrina. I'll play the Trident, I don't really care too much about it right now. Maybe it's better to play the Revenant there, I'm not sure. But, yeah, whatever. Both bronzes, we probably don't want them if we can avoid them. Likewise with Lyrian Cavalry, that's not going to be very good here, I think. And the Kedwani Sergeant will probably be quite bad as well, so let's get rid of him. Got Sabrina Selkirk, which is pretty not bad. If we can get the combo off with Hubert, we might be okay. That being said, a little bit scary with Ada available. I think starting with Avalak's really powerful here. Going to be hard for him to be removed without using the leader ability, and then we can Corvo up. I feel pretty good about that, I think. Maybe there's a lock or something that will come down on him, it's very possible, but if not, we should be in a good spot. Tainted Ale, alright. Fair enough. That does detract from the opponent's value that they will get with Hubert later, so not the end of the world. Probably go with the Arbalest now. Start getting those orders up. Oh, it looks like we're going to be speared to death. My favorite way to die. Let's go with Naneke then to try to heal our dudes. Keep them alive. That is not what we like to see. We're probably going to lose the long round if they're playing artifacts, because they won't have enough units for us to damage. We won't get enough Hubert value to win, probably. But we'll see. We will see, won't we? Unfortunately, we can't kill that right now. We can go with a Revenant, though, and start boosting these guys. Probably fire off a few shots, just in case our guy dies, which he might. Unfortunately, Revenants will get kind of wrecked by Sabrina. We'll see how it goes. We can remove a lot of their engines if they're going for engine value. So their Hubert won't be that amazing. It'll be quite good, but I don't think it'll be the end of the world necessarily. Let's maybe go with Selkirk now. I like Census more actually. And we'll pass it over. Want to hold on to as many points as possible for the Hubert play, if we can. Because really that's what's going to make or break this game most of the time. It's whether or not we get Hubert value. Okay, that Vest probably needs to die, I think. We can play Selkirk. It's not too bad, and then probably Corvo after that, but I think this is more important to kill than the Trebuchet right now. Probably Naneke will die. Whatever, doesn't really matter. We can kill this next turn with Selkirk if we need to, and then play Corvo and whatnot to enable another Kedwani Revenant kill. Honestly, we've got a lot of points right now, but the Hubert swing is, of course, very, very painful when it happens. We have our own, but it's going to be a lot smaller, I think, because we're not doing as much damage to the opponent's units. We'll see, though. Maybe we will be able to with Selkirk. I mean, I wonder if it's even worth firing the Hubert off now. Is that ever a good idea? I don't think it can possibly be. I think Corvo is just the play here.
Knowledge is the sole treasure worth seeking.
So we've got a nice Selkirk play to kill that. And then I think we want to just kill this Arbalest as well, of course. Nice stuff. And we can boost Corvo. Hopefully he'll survive a little bit longer. We can boost this as well. So right now we're not looking too bad. We're not looking too bad at all, guys. That being said, it's going to rely on our Sabrina going off. There's not many units we're hitting, so it might not be great. We'll play Ocvis now. And we can't get another Revenant kill yet, so we'll just hold on to that. I think will we boost Ocvis? Probably not. It's a little bit risky to do that. I think we'll just spread out our points now. Like so. And pass again. We can always trigger Sabrina with Revenant as well as Ocvis, so, or even Arbalest, so it's going to find some value. Problem is he doesn't have a very stacked row at the moment, so it won't be doing very much, but it will give us more Hubert value, and that's kind of the important thing. The opponent's Hubert's maybe not going to be as big because they don't have so many order effects on the board. We can remove their order effects as well, potentially. The more damage we hold on to, the better, basically, for the final kill or whatever. He's not gonna kill the Sabrina. That's ballsy. Because we can buff it up, and we will in fact do that, I think. We're gonna make sure she doesn't die to a spear. And even, do we buff it another time, or do we not bother? That's the real question. Definitely buff Corvo here. I think we buff Orkvist as well. And for now, we just hold on to all of our charges so that our Hubert's going to be as big as it can be. If we can stop the Sabrina from dying, that would be huge. Or if we make him use Adder on it, then that would also be pretty massive. Okay, he's going to kill his own, or kill the Sabrina himself, makes sense. But now he's going to have to use Adder onto Sabrina, which is kind of not ideal for him. And we can remove the Ike as well, I think. Let's see. We've got Orkvist firing. We can't kill it. That's a bit of a shame, actually. Can we wait? We need to play this so we avoid the Ike. When will it be avoided? We've just done 3 damage, so he'll be 6. We want to get him to 7, right? So 7. Then we play him. And then we shoot with the Revenant. And actually shooting with the Revenant maybe is bad. Yeah, maybe it's bad for us. Oh well. He needs a lot of points. I don't think he has it with the Hubert. Maybe I'm wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 17 plus 1. I don't think he has it. We have a ton of points right now. Let's see though. The Ike is dead. That's really good for us. It's so close. I think the Revenant value here was insane, but it also did give him a bit more, I guess, Sabrina value, so it's a bit weird. There's another point on that as well, actually. There's the Adder. Big damage. Is it enough? Oh, it nearly is, but not quite. Whoa, close, cool, but I think the amount of engines we have there and having first say in the round as well was a bit of a showcase of the power that this deck can have. Either way, I think it might be a little bit outdated. Probably not the best matchups against control-y decks, but against monsters I do think it's quite good. So if you're facing a lot of that, then this deck can work. Either way, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Subscribe for more videos if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.